Something is happening here to our colleges in the United States, and it seems like nobody is talking about it. My name is Dakota Sage, I'm from suburban Philadelphia, and it seems like the colleges and universities near me are majorly struggling. Is this something that's happening everywhere in the United States? Probably. It's just very noticeable in southeastern PA because of our large amount of colleges and universities. Specifically small and private universities, but let's go over some examples. Cabrini College at risk of closing, acquired by Villanova last year. Rosemont College merging into Villanova University. Clark Summit University closing indefinitely after 92 years in business. Westchester University housing crisis. Muhlenberg College president suspiciously quick exit in 2019. Ursinus College, Holy Family University, Gwen and Mercy University, and Eastern University entering into an agreement where all their credits will transfer between schools. And I know for a fact that there are whispers that Ursinus College is having problems financially. And what's very interesting about this is that a lot of times these private colleges do not take credits from other schools. Like, I go to community college and it's actually required by PA that if I were to transfer to a state school, they have to take my credits unless it's specifically stated in the course description. But with private universities and colleges, they don't legally have to take any of my credits. But aside from all those other colleges having problems, let me tell you about the most shocking one. On May 31st, 2024, the University of the Arts in Philadelphia announced that the school will be closing. And on June 7th, 2024, they shut their doors. All of these people literally had a week's notice. There are rumors that the school could be reopened as a part of Temple University, but right now, there is a class action lawsuit about the abrupt closure. The staff is suing because they never received the 60 to 100 day notice about major closings or mass layoffs. And UArts is a very prominent art school on the East Coast, so some of this staff actually left tenured positions at other colleges to teach at UArts. So all of the teachers were left without jobs and all of the students were left without a school in June. It's not like they had plenty of time to find somewhere else to go. The students and the teachers were completely left high and dry. You can understand why there's a lawsuit. My sister's friend actually went to UArts and graduated a few years ago, and she said that it was not a well-kept secret that the school was struggling financially, but to just shut the doors with no warning is a problem of leadership, and it's completely devastating to the staff and the students. So I went to community college, like I said, but I actually went through recruitment to play softball at a D2/D3 university, and recruitment seems to be where you learn a lot more about these universities than what they're just telling you at face value. College sports in general bring in a ton of money, but D2 and D3 are nowhere close to D1. In particular, there are no athletic scholarships at the D3 level. You can get one at a D2 level, but not a full ride. However, what I learned from recruitment was that if I committed to a team and had good grades, I would take priority for academic scholarships. I don't know exactly how much that this will affect it, but I do know that if two students have virtually the same grades, the same SAT score, the same everything, the scholarship will go towards the student athlete. And there's some athletes that might get accepted to schools or programs just because they're athletes. My sister was actually at Muhlenberg back in 2019, and Muhlenberg is a very sports-oriented school. They get a ton of sponsorships and a lot of funding for being a Division III. But I think that the president's quick and quiet exit might have had something to do with kickbacks or overvaluing the sport or money laundering somehow. I don't know. This is just speculation. The dude leaving was weird, and I'm trying to use context clues. But it seemed like things got better after he left. Athletics and the theater department are still huge draws to the school, and Muhlenberg is going to be just fine. But that is not true about sports programs in other local colleges, and here are some examples. Albright College cut their swim program entirely to save money. St. Francis University is dropping from a Division I to a Division III school. St. Francis University was in the March Madness tournament. That means that some of these guys actually have realistic chances of making it into the NBA, and now all of a sudden their university's telling them that they're a Division III school? That's crazy. And finally, Bryn Athyn College is ending their athletic programs entirely.
We had no idea this was going to happen.
Student athletes at Bryn Athyn College say they were shocked when a letter Wednesday from the school's president, Sean Connolly, stated all NCAA sports programs will be terminated at the end of this school year.
All the coaches have been looking for recruits all year, expecting for us to have a team.
Connolly's letter reads in part, quote, "We are restructuring student life and discontinuing all 11 NCAA Division III athletic programs, our club hockey team, and associated staff and trainers. These programs will remain active through the end of the academic year, and all affected students will receive full support. A new model, robust, inclusive, and financially sustainable, will rise in the form of club sports." Connolly goes on to say athletic costs revealed a, quote, "untenable financial reality as the college faces a $3.4 million deficit. Connor Walmsley is a junior who plays ice hockey and lacrosse.
You really notice it with a small school because, everyone's always coming out to everyone's games. It's a close-knit community between the athletes here, and it's tough that they're just ripping that right away.
Bryn Athyn enrolls just a few hundred undergrad students. More than half play a sport. Sophomore Sean Scalen was recruited for soccer and lacrosse. While he can empathize with the financial struggles of many universities, he's disappointed in this news.
I feel like this isn't the route you take, even if it is, because more than 50% of the school plays sports. That's their thing. That's what we do here.
And now a bunch of these athletes are going to enter into the transfer portal to play for other schools, and they're going to take their tuition with them. CNN came out with an article talking about how private colleges are struggling to stay open because of the declining enrollment leading to financial instability. The article talks about how during the pandemic, a lot of these universities were receiving funds from the government, and now that the pandemic is over and so are these funds, they're having trouble staying afloat. Like I said, CNN did claim that the lack of enrollment in these private universities is what's causing them to fail, but then they also put up some numbers about college as a whole. They said that in the fall of 2023, there was a 2.1% increase in enrollment for four-year colleges, but there was a 3.6% decrease in freshman enrollment nationwide. So the numbers of four-year college enrollment in recent years has not seen any dramatic change. It seems like it's these colleges in particular. And as somebody who actually realistically entertained going to multiple of these schools, part of my reasoning for not going was financial. Millennials were fed this idea where if they just went to college, everything would go right for them, and that no matter how much money they spent on an education, they'd be able to make it back with the job they could get with this degree. Gen Z is seeing in real time that this is not true. In PA in particular, we had the highest inflation for food in the entire country at 8.2% during the pandemic, compared to the average 5.3%. And as we all know, housing prices have also skyrocketed. My entire town used to be farms and forests, and now everywhere you look is cheaply built housing developments with $600,000 townhomes, which sounds insane to me, but if you're from New York, that's a pretty good price. And I can't blame these people from wanting to leave places with higher prices. It's just frustrating that they're bringing these higher prices with them. But a degree no longer guarantees a job, and because living prices are so exorbitant, Gen Z now knows that they cannot put themselves $200,000 in debt when they can go to a state school and pay $40,000 for the same education. Or even less if they go for scholarships or community college. And this is something that's happening everywhere, but because PA has so many of these small private colleges, it's just very noticeable. And if these schools don't have a specific degree of study or athletic program or something that's enough of a draw to compensate for the price, they're gonna have trouble staying afloat. Also, fun fact, the new pope did go to Villanova as well. But that's it for today, guys. Let me know if you've noticed this sort of thing in your communities as well. And as always, have a great rest of your day.